Whilst authorities are overwhelmed with the challenge of congested prisons, crime rates continue to rise with no commensurate expansion of prison facilities. For the year 2007, an average of 9,124 convicts were jailed with an annual 24% growth rate. The average daily convict population for 2008 was 9,845. Of the figure, 9,667, representing 98.2%, are male convicts, while 180, representing 1.8%, were female convicts. The female-to-male convicts ratio for the year was 1:54. Regional distributions give Eastern Region the highest crime rate. For instance, of the 128 murder cases recorded in 2008, Eastern Region recorded the highest with 123. Northern Region recorded 3, whilst the Volta and Western Regions had 1 each. In view of the overcrowding situation, the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning released 3 million cedis from the HIPIC Fund for the continuation of the maximum security prison being constructed at Ankafo in the Central Region since 1999. It is anticipated that the completion of the project, which is an ultra-modern 2,000 capacity maximum security prison, and the construction of an additional 3-unit inmate dormitory at Awutu Camp prisons would help alleviate the problem of congestion in the country's prisons.
We're trying to complete the work at Ankafo in the Central Region, and all things being equal, we hope that before the end of this year it will be commissioned, so that we can transfer those who have been convicted and sentenced for long periods to Ankafo to reduce the congestion in Samam.
As at the time of our visit, the Ankafo Maximum Security Prison was almost ready to be commissioned, but for the final phase of fixing the entry gate. The facility is fully equipped with a hospital designed to hold up to 50 patients at a time. The prison itself has 5 main blocks. Each block has 40 cells.
When officially commissioned, this cell, as you can see, will house about 10 inmates. To my right, inmates wouldn't have to go elsewhere if they need to use the lavatory, especially in the night. They have a water closet right in the cell. And my understanding is that each of the cells has a water closet.
The prison, when operational, will convert liquid and solid waste generated by the inmates into biogas for cooking and fertilizer for farming. The facility also has junior high school, senior high school, and a training center, as well as classrooms for formal education for inmates. It's been proposed that government constructs 5 of such prisons in the country in the coming years to train inmates and also put to rest the incessant problem of congestion. For feeding problems and general well-being of prisoners, it looks like the service can't do much, especially with this lean budgetary allocation of 21,705,059 Ghana cedis to cater for personnel emolument, administration, service and investment.
This year, what I've told the Minister of Finance is that one, we should be able to improve or increase the per diem of the prison service from the 60 cedis to a reasonable figure that will be able to at least buy them 2 decent meals a day. Secondly, we discover that the prison's ration or the feeding bill is normally embedded in the whole budget of the ministry or of the prison service. Such that at the end of the day, by the first quarter of the year, you realize all the money might have gone into investment and the emoluments and the service activities to the detriment of running the prisons. We should separate the feeding grant from the prison's budget.
Many reforms have been advocated. Former President John Agyekum Kufuor's announcement that the draft prison service law and regulation would see the renaming of the prison service as the Ghana Correctional Service to shift emphasis from its incarceration focus to a correctional mandate.
We have to introduce the non-custodial sentences like community service. The long sentencing does not help the nation. If someone should steal a fowl and you bring him for 6 months, we are going to feed him for the 6 months. If the person was self-employed, within the 6 months, we would have spoiled that job he was doing. So he's end up living here unemployed. But if it's community service, he's going to work for the community for 6 good months.
It's not any longer on punishing the victim. It's not even any longer on deterrent. The emphasis now is on restoring the victim. Also, the principle of non-custodial sentences talks about the community, how the accused or the prisoners can be reintegrated into the community.
In calling for non-custodial sentencing, Betty Mold Idrisu and Emil Short are calling for a relook at our social welfare system.
Non-custodial sentences is the only way for the future. But in order for this to work in Ghana, we need desperately to revive our social welfare system. They are the ones to police the system, so to speak.
These non-custodial sentences, should be put in place as quickly as possible, but also it will also help to decongest the prison.
Psychologists and sociologists are of the view that the environment in which an individual is raised has tremendous influence on the person's character and position. The current mission statement of prison service has incorporated the new values of providing a safe environment for the reformation of prisons.
Looking at the number here, it takes it will not at the end of the day we can't reform all of them at a goal, but gradually we are making a headway. We are reforming them.
The rehabilitation process is not working. People are not being reformed or rehabilitated under the present system.
I don't think most people who go to Ghanaian prisons do reform because there is no machinery for reformation in our prisons.
The service, on the other hand, has come to terms with the fact that no meaningful reformation and rehabilitation of inmates can effectively take place without the provision of education, formal or informal. Ghana's prisons are filled with people, most of whom cannot read and write. The problem of literacy directly compounds the crime situation. For years, the service has focused on providing some degree of vocational training for inmates, although it has not reflected much in curbing re-offending. The Insaom prison offers programs in information and communication technology with assistance from the UNDP. In all, there are 22 inmates trained as facilitators and teachers whose academic background ranges from Teacher Certificate A through Bachelor of Arts to Master's degree.
We have the junior high school, senior high school, non-formal, Ewe, Chui, and Ga, and then the IT main. We run the program exactly as it is run outside.
Non-formal education started in 2007 at the Ankafo Main and the President's Special Initiative on Distance Learning in English Language. Mathematics, Science, Block Laying and Concreting started in April 2008. The Kumasi male and female prisons also benefited.
We also have the PSI, that's President's Special Initiative on Distance Learning. And at the moment we are preparing junior high school students.
The prisons also have carpentry units producing furniture for the service. This detergent factory at the Insaom prisons produces detergent that has been affirmed to be of high quality and will soon be on the market.
Because of the chemicals being used here, we try to get prisoners who are not quick-tempered. We can produce 4 bags of sodium sulfate and other chemicals a day because we are waiting for attestation from the standard board before we come out.
An innovation by Ankafo Main Prison is this Alata soap, believed to effectively manage skin diseases like heat rashes, scabies, eczema, etc.
Well, we've just received some equipment, tailoring and carpentry equipment from the first phase of Paramount Logistics package that was granted us. And the second tranche will be arriving anytime from now. And we intend locating this equipment in 6 selected prisons all over the country.